Anyone care to guess what that key difference is? ACH connectivity. That's the big thing, right? So ACH connectivity is the ability to connect to the local in-country payment rail network in each jurisdiction. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, if your account is not domiciled directly in the in-country jurisdiction, you cannot connect to that local payment network. So the same is true for the US dollar. If you need access to ACH payments to send or receive, you need to have an account based in somewhere in the United States. For us, it's New York. So the choice of where you want to have your US dollar account, it could be either or, but it could be both. And the rationale could be, I would like to have an account based in the United States to collect and receive US dollars so I can access both ACH payments and Swift wire payments. But I also want to have a US dollar account based in London. So when I do have business that I'm conducting in US dollars internationally, I pay fewer lifting charges, fewer correspondent charges, and it's more cost effective to receive payments that are coming from international markets if I receive them in US dollars in London versus having those payments come all the way to the United States. Similar, when I'm processing outbound payments and I'm sending US dollars internationally, especially to UK or Europe, I want to originate those payments from a US dollar domiciled account. It results in fewer lifting charges, fewer correspondent fees, and a faster overall payment process. So for US dollars, we offer both, London and New York. For euros and sterling, we actually domicile these in the domestic market. So our euro accounts are based in Frankfurt, Germany. It provides connectivity to the equivalent ACH scheme, which is called SEPA. SEPA is the way that you process in-country payments in Europe. So you can send and receive payments in Europe via the in-country rail network, which then costs pennies a transaction rather than euros per transaction, ultimately. That's the key benefit. Pound sterling, it's the same thing. It's connecting to both the CHAPS network, which is basically the equivalent of the Fedwire network, as well as the Faster Payments network in the UK. Allows you to send and receive in-country payments for pennies or pence per transaction rather than dollars per transaction. The key benefit of having access to that local payment connectivity and the benefit of in-country payments versus Swift wire payments is cost and speed. When you send a payment via a low country or low value in-country methodology, it's a guaranteed funds transfer, so the exact amount that you send will show up in the beneficiary bank account, and it's guaranteed to arrive on the actual credit date in which you intended it. So Swift payments, oftentimes, they may actually be faster. If you process a Swift payment and you do it via a direct methodology that doesn't have a correspondent, it can arrive in minutes. But I think we've probably all experienced situations when you send a Swift wire and it shows up a week later or 2 weeks later, or depending on the jurisdiction in which you're sending that payment, if you're sending it to Nigeria, it might be months later before the funds actually credit. So the benefit of having this in-country connectivity is speed, efficiency, and guaranteed full value transfer, on-time delivery. So what we're ultimately trying to do is to build a network to make available as many currencies as possible, all with the same routing instructions. So the same IBAN, ultimately, the same SWIFT code or derivation thereof, the same account number, the same beneficiary bank address. So you can use those same payment instructions to receive payments in multiple currencies, all into your one account that is then segregated by currency on our platform.